Hello, friends and followers. So, no one really can hear me on amateur radio with 100 watts. So, been trying to talk to my brother. He can't hear me either on 100 watts. I know my antenna is not very good, but I can't do much about that. Anyway, I picked up this SB-200 amplifier on eBay to try and remedy the antenna situation and see if I could try with 500 watts to reach my brother and other people that can barely hear me. Anyway, this is an SB-200 by Heathkit, and you never see really clear videos of what's in these things on YouTube and how they work. So I thought I would at least approach this on how to take it apart and look at the insides so people have an idea of what these are. This thing I think is circa 1964 or thereabouts. I'm not sure on the exact date. It's a nice amplifier, at least it's pretty clean. So the first thing you do is remove the case, and the case is nice. The case is nice because it's aluminum and it has like a trap door on top where you can open up the case and view the insides of the amplifier. I don't think there are any safety interlocks on this amplifier, so you could be shocked by 2,000 or so volts. It's not that safe, I don't think, but they have things covered up somewhat. So this case, to take the amplifier out, I found you take off the little feet there. There's 4 little feet. The 2 larger feet are in the front, the 2 smaller are in the back. And then you can tilt the amplifier onto its front, so its front is face down on the floor. And then you want to basically wiggle this case off of the amplifier until it's off. So it has one big cover on it that you can take off to expose the tubes and such. This thing runs off of 872 tubes, which I haven't inspected yet, but the guy I bought this from said it had a problem with a resistor burning or something. Somebody who tuned it made a mistake with it. So anyway, looking at the amp, you can see that there's 2 holes here, and you wonder what those are for. So you can take a look, and okay, those are for the circuit breakers that are for overload. There's a guy named Harbach that makes replacement power supply boards for these. So this is basically the 2000 volt board here. That's a Harbach board. I haven't checked it yet. So the gentleman said that a resistor burned up on this thing, so I'm thinking one of the tubes went bad on it. And you want to check the controls on these. Make sure they're in binding. This one's awfully loose, but it works. Yeah, the controls seem fine. And you want to check the band switch for arcing or damage. This band switch is awful old as far as it has lots of corrosion, but it doesn't look burned up. So you really want to get some detox it and correct any kind of problems with the band switch and inspect it carefully. So that's what I intend to do. There's 2 sections here in the front of the amp for the tank coil and all that. The back is for the input coils that will match the input of the amplifier to your equipment. That's one thing I didn't see on my brother's Dentron Clipperton, was any way to succinctly match the input of the amplifier to the equipment. So that's kind of a strike against Dentron. I don't know why they wouldn't do that, but I guess it adds cost. So it's got a pretty hefty transformer in it. There's the high voltage windings. I'm guessing those are around 1,000 volts. And this Harbach board is a voltage doubler. I'm not sure what was cut off of here. Looks like it's something that consumes power. There's where the meter went. I think the meter just went to some other amplifier. And okay, so that's that. When I look at the back of this guy here, where all this matching stuff is, I'm guessing, this thing is a heavy little bugger. I am guessing that the issue with this thing is probably a bad tube or some bias. And I'm saying that because it looks like somebody was futzing here with the bias resistor. I'm guessing this is for bias. It looks like it's a 330 or a 33 ohm resistor there. And this one here has been added and it looks burned up. So whatever was here burned up. So I'm guessing this tube, maybe the grid shorted out on it or something on the 572. So I want to go through and check all this stuff and make sure it's all copacetic and clean up the band switches and all that. So that's all well and good. And he did say a resistor burned up. That's it right there. I'm thinking, he said the guy was tuning this thing wrong. Anyway, looks like a nice little amp anyway. I've never even owned an amplifier, so I'm happy to have one. Here's the bottom, how it looks. And I know this is kind of upside down, but that's what I'm working with here. I think he said it had a Harbach fan in it and a Harbach soft start. So I'm guessing all these little goodies here are, oh yeah, there's the Harbach board. That's probably the board for keying the amplifier up. I'm guessing that board is a soft start board, I'm not sure. It looks like it has some power wires going into it. Okay, that board I think is a power board. Yeah, it is. It is. And power switch. I think he said it had a Harbach fan too. The fan does look new. Anyway, that makes me happy that there's probably not too much to fix in here. Looks like the TR relay looks even new too. So yeah, it's a funny amplifier. I guess the guy that bought it bought a new one and didn't want this one anymore. So people like me can fix it. That's what I'll be doing. So I think to troubleshoot this thing, the next thing I'll do is I'll take the 572 tubes out of the wrapping. They're over there wrapped up from shipping here, and I'll see if they have any shorts with an ohm meter. And I'll shake them and see if they make noise inside. So that's what I'll do with those. And I'll ohm out some resistors, and I'm almost tempted to pay $100 for a meter on eBay for this thing. I don't really want to spend $100 for a meter, but I think without the meter on this thing, you're kind of running blind. So I think the next steps would be to verify the power supply works. I don't like messing with that power supply, but I guess I could fire it up. I have no way of measuring 2000 volts safely. I thought about I could make a voltage divider and try it that way, but probably would want a meter to measure 2000 volts. So that might be a good reason to buy a meter. All right, well, that's my tour of this SB-200. I hope it was helpful to you to evaluate an SB-200 and what it entails. The transformer is awful big. It's a big transformer. It's heavy. It has a nice Collins type case on it. That's where the tubes go in the back here. And that's it. So I hope this has given you a visual of what is inside of an SB-220 amplifier. Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.